Another week of comics are in the books, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my, I don't have 5 books because it was a light week, but it was a dense week. It was a thick, really amazing week of comic books for me. I only have 5 comics this week, or 4 rather, because one of the books that I got was delayed on the diamond order from my local comic shop. So I only have 4 books this week. That being said, I don't want to waste any of your time. Let's jump into it. And today I'm going to be starting with the pick of the week, and it is none other than the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is a new story arc. This is issue number 7 by Jason Aaron and Juan Ferreira. And holy smokes, you guys, the art in this book is absolutely gorgeous. I really love the artwork that Ferreira is doing. Now, we have all of the turtles back together, and they are hated by New Yorkers, and because the DA has enlisted the Foot as basically a militia of sorts, they're dressing as firefighters and as police officers in New York City. It was filmed that the turtles were fighting police officers. Of course, the New York citizens don't like this much, but now that the turtles are back together, it's finally, this series is exactly what I envisioned it to be. This is by far the best issue of this series thus far. I'm absolutely loving the fact that Donnie in this issue is our main storyteller. He has kind of a monologue that runs throughout the entire issue, explaining how we got here, what's happening. All the turtles are fighting. All the turtles have different ways to try and go about clearing their name and getting things right with the people of New York City. It feels to me like Jason Aaron knows how to write the turtles, and it feels like this is written by Kevin Eastman. Jason Aaron knows what he's doing in this book and with these characters. Simply put, if you're a Turtles fan, you have to be reading this series. I know the first several issues of this book, of this series rather, were a bit slow-paced and very much written like contemporary comics, where it seemed like we were writing for the trade. Now it seems like, and I know that is might not be a negative to some, but I know that for many old school comic book readers, that is a huge turnoff. But now that we are into the meat and potatoes of this story and of this run, this was an excellent episode. If you love old school Eastman and Laird comics, Turtles rather, you are going to love this. Or even if you liked the Eastman and Waltz run from IDW that just ended not too long ago before this started, you are going to love this run of Turtles. I love this. Basically, in this issue, each turtle splits up and tries to go into the city and has a different method to try and figure things out. Leo saying, look, we gotta find Karai, and that's the way. Of course, you have Raphael, who goes out and just wants to take everyone down and do it his way. And then, of course, Donatello is like talking to this dead rat that he thinks is Master Splinter. But this issue, as I said, is kind of narrated by Donatello. And in the end, maybe Donatello's not as crazy as everyone thinks. I don't know. You'll have to read the issue. Overall, though, this series is phenomenal. 4-star comic book and pick of the week today. I absolutely loved it. Moving on, this is going to be the Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 14. This is Jonathan Hickman and Mark Cicchetto. Wilson, I believe, on the colors. Let me see. Not showing. Okay, well, it's Hickman, Cicchetto, and Wilson, and this picks up right where the last issue left off. Honestly, pound for pound, of course, this is Marvel comic books. Pound for pound, this is the best ongoing series. Not only from Marvel, this might be the best ongoing series in comic books that is more than like 6 or 7 issues. I think you could throw, Transformers hat into that ring. But pound for pound, if you're looking for a superhero comic book, look no further than Ultimate Spider-Man. In this issue, we learned that there is a new Black Cat, and is basically in the Ultimate Universe. The old Black Cat was a man. Obviously, this is a woman. Actually, a young lady. Not quite a woman. She is, I believe, 16 or 17 years old. And, of course, we have Richard Parker, who is Peter's son, has the black the black suit now. And, of course, Harry and Peter are in the Savage Lands, and they're being hunted. And this is just awesome. This is absolutely awesome. There is this moment where, while in the Savage Lands, as you see, Peter breaks a gun, some kind of rifle, from Craven. I'm blanking on his name. But he breaks Craven's gun in the Savage Land. Mole Man shows up. There's a Mysterio sighting. I don't want to give away too much, but you have to read this book. Everything breaks down. Every worst fear that Mary Jane and Peter had, it happens in this issue. It's really, really strong. Hickman writing the hell out of this series. I'm going to give this one a 4-star review as well, just because I think that the Turtles book had a lot of, the whole issue was like very tense, and it built suspense all issue. This was probably just as good, but I had to have a pick of the week. But for Ultimate Spider-Man, this series continues to deliver. Like I said at the top of the review here, this is the best superhero comic book that I'm reading, at least. Let me know in the comments if you have any other superhero books from the big two that you think is better than Ultimate Spider-Man. I'm loving this series, though. Issue 14, 4 stars. Moving on to another superhero book, not from the big two. We've got Radiant Black, The Return, baby. We are so back. This is issue number 31 of the series. Of course, this is Higgins and Clark, Fregado and Fernandez, with Becca Carey on the lettering, and she absolutely is crushing it. We are back, baby. This issue was so good. I cannot stress to you how awesome and how hyped I am for the return of Radiant Black. This picks up about 5 months after the Catalyst War ends. Chicago is decimated. The citizens of Chicago really don't know how to react. Whether there is public opinion is mixed on whether Radiant Black is actually a good thing for the world, basically. And look at this beautiful 2-page spread. I love the the dusk tones there of the orange, and just amazing coloring. As you can see in the harbor there, a ton of boats are capsized and feeling the full effects of the Catalyst War that just ended. But we are so back. It picks up. Marshall is helping rebuild things, but he's having trouble trying to divide his time. He's being stretched very thin with the cleanup of Chicago and just other daily crimes that are happening, and he wants to be able to help everyone. But there's a moment in the book where he's like lifting up one of the big giant robots, severed arms, and he gets he gets like a violent crime over the scanner, over the police scanner, and it's like, oh, I gotta go do that, and he just drops it and bolts, takes care of it. But obviously, like, I don't know, they are mixed opinions on whether they rock with Radiant Black or not. This is an excellent issue for me. I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. Definitely don't miss out on this series, especially if you are of a certain age, if you're in that millennial age range. You're going to resonate with this character, whether you've read the previous 30, what is it? Well, I guess it was like technically like 34 issues, I think. But officially issue number 31. And it's only $3.99. Love that Image is still doing the $3.99 books. But yeah, Rebuild, it's here. Marshall's back. And yeah, I'm loving this series. It's so good. It's such a refreshing series. And yeah, Kyle Higgins keeping it fresh for issue 31 and a brand new story arc. I'm so stoked that Radiant Black is back, baby. And before we move on to the last book that I picked up, if you are enjoying this content, Hulk smash that like button and the subscribe button. Hit me up on League of Comic Book Geeks, where you can check out my reviews early. Of course, they're going to be text-based. But yeah, and let's not waste any more time. Let's jump into the last book today. We've got Detective Comics. This is issue number 1094. So, yes, obviously, Detective Comics has been around for a very, very long time. This series continues to be one of the most gorgeous series. The way that the lighting is used in this series, this is of course by Tom Taylor and Michael Janin on the art, but the art is stunning. The facial features of this book. Look at this guy. This guy's a scumbag. He's a warden of basically a juvenile detention center, basically a prison for young men. And boy, this guy's a scumbag. Bruce Wayne hates this man. He even says as much right here. He says, I hate this man. But the art is gorgeous. The facial features, the way that Michael Janin draws these characters is just stunningly great to look at. And so in this issue, we're trying to save a bunch of the young delinquents. I don't want to call them delinquents, but it's young people. It's teenagers and young people who have broken the law. So they get sent to Gotham's essentially, a detention center for kids. And so they decide, Bruce and Damian decide that Damian needs to go undercover, basically, and get arrested and be put into detention center. But a whole bunch of crazy stuff happens while in the detention center. And, of course, Asima is here. We're trying to figure out what the deal is, what their intentions are, trying to figure out who Asima is. Of course, Damian hates authority figures. A lot of stuff goes down in the detention center. And it was pretty wild. This issue, this series continues to be awesome. We learn a huge thing about what this detention center is doing. It might be harvesting some bodily fluid from these kids. It's blood. I just want to say that. I don't want to get flagged on YouTube or anything. So sorry, a little bit of a spoiler so this video doesn't get taken down by YouTube. But yeah, it's blood. And what they're using that for, you'll have to read to find out. But I'm loving this series. Tom Taylor is sowing some crazy seeds and kind of building up the not only the backstory of everything, how Bruce became Batman with Joe Chill. There's, of course, that plot thread, but now we're learning what was in the serum of that Bruce took to make himself a little bit younger, make himself a little bit faster, make himself be able to heal a little bit better, because he's not a young Batman anymore. I'm absolutely loving this series. Tom Taylor crushing it, and the art is absolutely gorgeous. More so the use of color. Again, every scene seems to just pop and make sense. The lighting in this scene. Look at this panel right here. This one right here. See the shadows on the other side of the characters on the wall? That's so good. You know exactly where the light source is. I'm huge into art, so I do a little bit of art myself. I'm not that good. Maybe I'll share with you guys sometime. Let me know in the comments section. Comment, show me the art, and maybe I'll share some art with you. But yeah, this is awesome. This is awesome. I'm loving this series. It's all good. 3.5 stars for this issue. So just to recap for you, Detective Comics, great art, phenomenal. Tom Taylor, I'm really, really loving this this run so far. Radiant Black, my favorite series of a superhero that isn't of the big two. Definitely need to read this. This was a 3.5 star book this week. Super stoked to have Radiant Black back. Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 14, 4 stars. We've got Peter and Harry in the Savage Lands and a ton of stuff breaking down in New York City with his family. So absolutely loving this. 4 star books. And then the pick of the week, like I said, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is Jason Aaron. This is Juan Ferreira, and it's absolutely awesome. Donatello's the monologue going throughout, and it just ratchets up the intensity from page 1 to the final page of this book. It's just, it's anxiety-inducing in the best way possible. I don't know how else to describe it. And it reaches a fever pitch at the very end, and holy smokes, I am so stoked for Turtles in 2025. There you have it, folks. Like I said, I appreciate you all for checking me out. I did have Uncanny Valley as well, but unfortunately, like I said, the diamond order from my local comic shop was delayed. Hopefully I can get that. And let me know in the comment section if you want to see a review of the latest Uncanny Valley issue as a one-shot video. Maybe I can make a short of that or something. But make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more weekly comic book reviews and just general comic book content. My name's Alex. This is Graphic Novel Collector. I appreciate everyone. Thank you all so much. And again, follow me on my social medias. Check them out. They're all in the description below. Specifically, though, on leagueofcomicbookgeeks.com. You can check out some of my reviews in just, written format over there. Follow me. Check that out. Thank you all so much. I'm kind of rambling. I appreciate you. Until the next video, keep reading comic books, and I will catch you all on the flippy flop. Adios, everyone.